Welcome back to the Colorado Springs Business Podcast. My name is Andrew Hasley, and I am the host of the show. Today, we are sponsored by Vehement Visuals, which is my video production company. Sometimes I wear the shirt so I can be like Superman and pull it out. But yeah, we produce videos for businesses that really help tell their stories and help them automate certain processes within their business, ultimately not only saving time, but helping them create video assets that they can use. And that's Vehement Visuals. The second ad for today is promoting the Colorado Springs Business Podcast Patreon account, which is patreon.com/COSbusiness. The Patreon is like a website where it allows you to really help support a creator or like a YouTube channel. Like a lot of YouTube channels use Patreon, a lot of podcasts use Patreon as well. But we have bonus content on there that we're going to be putting there that's exclusive for the Patreon members. And we're going to just try to do some, add some more just extra value there so that we can maybe encourage people to get on the Patreon. All right, so the third ad is the advertising space that we have at the beginning of every episode of the Colorado Springs Business Podcast. If you'd like me to read a 15 to 1 minute long ad script about your business, then we can make that happen at the beginning of every episode, and that ad will be on that episode that you purchased for forever. So as the show grows, your ads will still be on those episodes that you had those ads on. So that's the advertising space for the Colorado Springs Business Podcast, and that's all the ads we have for today. And I always butcher everyone's name, and I need to stop doing that. We have on Bryan Rossmanith.
Yeah, you got it. Yep, sounded it out perfectly.
Nice.
Everyone always messes that up.
Okay,
really,
cool.
Really horribly. So you did great.
Awesome. So tell us about your business and like a sentence or two, a brief summary, and then we'll get into the interview.
Yeah, absolutely. So we basically create unique experiences and make people smile by throwing axes.
Nice.
Is really what we do.
That's awesome. I'm glad you had a nice, concise sentence or two. Because sometimes when I ask people to do that, they have like a whole paragraph that they give.
Right. Yeah.
Which is cool. But yeah, I think the simpler you're able to explain something, the more quicker you can. It just proves that you understand what you do really well, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that I struggled with for a long time.
Yeah.
It's like because you spend so much time in your business and just working on all the assets that go into a business that you kind of forget like what are you actually doing and what are you actually accomplishing. So it's kind of important to take that step back and really realize that. Yeah, like we're just making people smile. Like that's it.
That's awesome because you've because when you're in the business and you start it, you know everything that you do. So it can be a bit challenging to really get it concise and really get a good I guess they call those elevator pitches.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Just from everything, you got. There's a reason there's 7 different business majors in schools because you got to work on each of those facets at a time. And
there's only 7?
Challenging, something like that.
Okay.
I just kind of made it up. But
okay.
Like, you got finance, accounting, marketing. What else you got? Like sales, and just HR, just all the different law,
different
all
sections
the different
of your
sections,
business model.
Yeah, that you have to do. In order to even open the business, like you have to have those down. Just your business plan and just everything that goes into that is pretty overwhelming when I first started. But then you realize that
once you take care of those things, they're taken care of.
Right, you don't have to change those. You just kind of put those systems in place.
It's kind of like building a building. It takes time at first. It may take a month. It may take 6 months to really get all those systems and all those things in place. And I'm consistently always building systems. So yeah. But yeah, I'm going to roll the intro music and we'll get started with the interview.
Love it.
This is a show where we have real conversations with entrepreneurs and business owners who are mostly in Colorado Springs doing things in the community of Colorado Springs. All right, Bryan, how's it going?
Cool, good. Thanks for having me on, Andrew.
Definitely.
I love it.
So I've been following your business for about a year now. When I first moved out here, I seen your business. I think I even sent you an email. I don't know if you remember that email.
I do actually.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Absolutely. I do remember that email.
Yeah. That's when I was like coming out here just trying to
just
not really knowing anyone, just like going out there and just throwing out what I do.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what you have to do. That's so awesome. And so you didn't know anything about Colorado Springs. You just kind of up and left to here.
Exactly. For the most part, I came out here to do a temporary construction job on the military base,
Nice.
Fort Carson. Was there for like 2-3 months, and then I kind of fell in love with the city, and I was like already going to start my business, and I was like, let's just go.
Yeah.
My mentor suggested a 30-day sink or swim challenge, and either I close a deal within the first 30 days and continue to have my business, or I don't, and I go back to Kansas City, which is where I'm from.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's how you got to do it.
So I 9 days in, I started swimming.
9 days, wow, that's quick.
Yeah,
You're
that's
hustling.
what I thought. Well, I mean, I had 3 months of kind of like off work of the military base.
Oh, yeah.
But that was very limited time. Like
Right.
after 5 p.m. only, and we work 6 days a week. So it's
Dang.
like I could only go to networking events that were after 5 p.m. Which fortunately, those networking events usually have beer. So
Yeah,
it's like
people are a little looser and they're
working on the military base. You want to have a beer.
Right.
Or working construction. I mean, you kind of want that, and so it's like it worked out pretty well. so yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much how I met your business essentially.
Yeah.
And then,
How did you hear about it?
I can't remember. I think actually I think I remember the exact time and location. I was at Java Punk Coffee House. And there's
I love them.
and you
They're
guys
so cool.
you guys had your cards up there. And one of my strategies, I had multiple strategies, was going to the coffee houses and grabbing all the business cards and
Nice.
reaching out to every single one on there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a perfect strategy.
Yeah, because all coffee shops have a big board of business cards. At least everyone I've been to.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we
definitely.
got something similar like that going on. Oh yes, we have a free oil change for you from Adam and Sons Auto Plaza.
Oh, sweet.
Scott Ryan Gill was on the show, and he now the Colorado Springs gives out free oil changes.
Awesome.
He
Awesome.
provided those. So
Yeah. Great. My
And
car could probably use an oil change.
Yeah,
right about
yeah.
now, so perfect timing.
And I forget what just reminded me to bring that up, but something triggered that. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. That was a cool way for him to sneak in some advertising too.
Right.
in each episode. So yeah, I've got some oil changes. I don't know why I brought that up.
Awesome.
I really had a reason why I brought that up. But yeah, so how long have you been in business?
So officially started in June of 2018.
Okay.
So just over 2 years now. So it's
Nice.
Yeah, pretty crazy. It's been a wild ride. Lots of changes and lots of hardships, but it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it in the end.
I think I seen a news article. I don't know if it was your business. It might have been your business.
Mhm.
It was about like a new trend of axe throwing coming to Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
And
I
it
think
was an old article, like a couple years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I think that was probably my was on a couple shows when we first opened.
Nice.
So did a real small brick and mortar location for right about 3 months. We were subleasing from another location.
Okay.
A local gym in town.
Nice.
And just the wood chips just ended up getting out of control, and
Yeah.
it was just a little bit too messy for them because they would be in there barefoot and everything. It was just
Yeah,
impossible to
splinters, yeah.
completely clean up. So it was a good experience, and we were able to grow pretty quickly. But that just ended up not working out. But it ended up working out for the better because ended up going completely mobile for a while, and that's what we did all of 2019. So we were just mobile axe throwing. So we would just partner up with hotels and a lot of different breweries like Java Punk Coffee. We go out there and kind of operate like a food truck.
Okay, so you guys go to events essentially, or do you even create the events as well? Or
Mostly go to events.
Okay.
Mostly go to events. So like a lot of large festivals and corporate events are the main thing. So like large companies will have their national sales meetings at like Gaylord Rockies or the Broadmoor or something, and they need things to do during that time. So
and this is a creative, different kind of idea that people aren't really thinking of. Do you have a lot of pushback, or have you had any pushback with kind of like the idea of throwing axes? It could scare some people, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely some weary eyes and like, what are you doing throwing axes in a hotel? Like, this is a nice hotel. So I'm really surprised they invited me out the first time.
Yeah.
They did that because some of the larger event planners like really didn't ask very many questions. They just kind of trusted that we knew what we were doing, and so just kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
But definitely a lot of weary eyes and like just people that think it's a dumb idea or that it's never going to work out. And so there's a lot of doubt that first year of kind of operations, just like, oh man, is this really what I want to, put my career towards and just all my efforts and money and just everything that goes into the business.
For sure.
So there's a lot of doubt for sure. But after going to so many of different events and just seeing everybody, just the community that it really establishes, it's like, yeah, this is definitely here and, definitely not going away anytime soon.
Yeah. I think, have you had any competitors pop up? Or I guess maybe not the word competitors, but any other businesses similar to axe throwing coming?
A little bit. There's a couple in the Denver area. There's one in Colorado Springs. They're both brick and mortar, and then there's one other mobile throwing in Denver. But really, they help a lot. We definitely wouldn't be where we are today without them.
Interesting.
Just because it's such a new concept and such a like. People think
you guys are building
crazy.
An industry essentially.
Right. We're kind of building the industry. Just like I see it being just as big as the brewery industry, the bar industry, coffee shops. Just
for sure.
Just that like thing that you go and do on Friday and Saturday nights.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you want to go throw axe? It's like it's a totally normal thing for me to just throw an axe. Throw an axe, drink a beer, and have some coffee and food, and just have a good time. It's just like playing cornhole.
You guys should do something, a promotional like crossover with Axe in the Oak.
Yeah, oh, definitely think so.
Because if you heard, they have like a story for their business too. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's on like their website. It's on their. It's one thing they use as their branding, a branding piece. Is kind of like three guys sitting around, like I don't know. I forget the story, but
yeah,
but I wish I could remember. But I think that would be a cool like collab, like
definitely.
You guys.
Yeah, I love those stories. Of just people that really just chased after their dream. They're sick of the 9 to 5 and wanted to get out and do their own thing.
Yeah.
And so it's really inspiring just hearing everybody's stories like that.
For sure.
Like yours,
Thank you. Yeah.
9 days in.
Yeah.
You have 30 days to figure it out.
Yeah. And I had some training and some mentorship, before that 30 days. So it's like good thing I had that, but still never done it before. Like I was staying out of Airbnbs every 3 days, switching. I was actually out in Pueblo for a week at one point, and that was a pretty cool experience. And and that's where you guys have a location, right?
Yeah, so we got a Sitch Target outdoor setup at a bar out there. And
nice.
It's growing pretty well. Definitely have some challenges, but it's doing really well right now. So always Fridays and Saturdays are always pretty busy, and it's just a lot of fun to go out there, and it helps support the bar because they have this big open land that they weren't really using, and so they were looking to bring in some different things to kind of spice it up with COVID and everything, just not being able to sit at the bar and like operate as a bar, which what they are, and so they were just looking for some different things, and so I was at the Colorado State Fair for 2 years, so 2018 and 2019, and then wasn't able to go this year because of COVID and everything. But one of the guys that helped run it down there made the connection and was talking to him about axe throwing, and so we met and then was just able to build that connection and ended up building Sitch Targets out there. So it's coming along, and hopefully we can build some more here soon and then just get some more people out there throwing.
Yeah, it's cool how those connections work.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also have 3 targets going in a bowling alley actually in Pueblo.
Nice.
So that'll more be our winter location, and then the outdoor for the summer. So we'll see what the winter is like, but we'll probably close that January through like March, and then have the indoor location open during that time. So
what's his name? Grant Cardone. Are you familiar with him?
I am.
He's been out in Pueblo 4 months out of this year.
Yeah. So he's just buying up a bunch of real estate, doing his thing.
I don't know if he's doing I don't know if he's doing the real estate thing. I don't know what his goal is, but I think it's a marketing company that's called Wake Up Pueblo. So the idea is to really get turn it into a tourist city, I think.
That's awesome. Pueblo's it's really pretty. The Riverwalk, and they just have a lot of things that
and it's really
no one knows about.
It's closer to certain things, like the sand dunes. I mean, it's still a little drive to the sand dunes, but it's at least closer than Colorado Springs. But and what I was thinking though is somehow you could get connected with him. Like if he's really trying to do that, then your axe throwing in Pueblo would be could be a unique selling point,
right?
For bringing attraction to the city.
So and there's a lot of the steel mill down there just got, I believe it was about $50 million in grant funding, so they're going to be building on a lot of the steel mill, and so just bringing in some better jobs and,
For
and
sure.
just building the economy, because it's a great place. I think it's a lot like Colorado Springs was, 15 years ago.
For sure.
Where it's just kind
Well,
of
I hear a lot of
under the radar.
a
And
lot
everything.
of bad things about Pueblo. As well, I mean, as at first you don't see it, but as you live out in the city longer, you actually hear like it's the back end of a lot of like drug jokes
Right.
or a lot of like jokes, like memes, and like it's like a trashy, like, because I guess there's a trashy part of it. Or
Right.
maybe trashy is too vulgar of a word, but, but there's more rundown part of it, and I just haven't seen that part, but apparently it's there.
Yeah, there are some rundown parts for sure. But I mean, compared to the bigger cities, New York or Los Angeles,
or even
like,
Kansas City. Kansas City has some pretty bad parts.
Yeah, like you're gonna find those bad parts in every city. So compared to those cities, like it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
it's really nice.
It's just become the back end of a lot of jokes.
Right, right. It's just because I think Colorado is getting to be such a nice and like high end state to live in that Pueblo's just a little behind in some areas.
For
like
sure.
That. But with like Grant Cardone, like he's a huge name. He's got his hand in everything. He's got
For
so many
sure.
businesses, and
And since
that's
it's going to
really
be a
cool.
TV show that he's doing it for,
It's going to be on Discovery Channel. I heard.
think so, yeah. And this TV show's like it's the second season. That's going to bring a lot of awareness to the city just itself. Like, they got the network backing it. Got Grant's social media network
huge.
backing it, and like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I'm excited to see that unfold.
Yeah, me
That'll
too.
be really cool. See what happens down there.
Yeah, hopefully some opportunities out of that will come your way. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I definitely think so. So I see the potential, and I'm really excited for everything. So people are amped to have something fun to do in Pueblo. So I'm
For sure.
really happy to be a part of that.
Definitely. So how long have you been in not business, but is this your first business?
It is actually,
Okay.
yeah. Like first time making a deal on my own, like is just really weird starting out.
Yeah.
Because like I just first kind of realized that I wanted to own a business. I took a trip after college. I studied finance in college. Wanted to go on to Wall Street and be a big stockbroker and eventually maybe go to London or something like that. Singapore, like the finance capital of the world.
Okay.
And so I really had my mindset on that, but it was really just the money that I was like, you can make a lot of money doing this. And really, it's not the way to look at it.
Yeah.
Anything.
For
Like,
sure.
money is just a tool that you can use for good, and like it's
You can make a
not
lot of
everything.
money with a lot of things.
Right.
And why not have it be something you love?
Definitely, and that's what I realized. So I studied finance in school, and I liked it, but I really liked the community aspect of just events and doing things. So I was a volunteer trainer at this place called Trinity Fitness for a couple of years, and that just really opened my eyes to like a community and really building that.
Was that the gym that helped
people.
you get started?
I mean, like mindset wise, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So mindset wise, just that going back to that community aspect, just really being friends for each other, and just that camaraderie that comes with that. And I swam for my whole life, played a lot of sports growing up, so I always had that kind of camaraderie with other people, and kind of doing something that you like together, and just like pursuing a common goal. Like we're always just training for big national meets or state meets or something like that, and just kind of seeing the way that impacted my life. Like I wanted to be a part of that as a career. I wanted that camaraderie. So axe throwing was just kind of a thing that I stumbled upon in Denver when I was there doing finance. Like hating my life, I hated it. I didn't like anything of it. I was studying for the Series 7, just 8 hours a day, just sitting in the cubicle, and like no one really seemed like they wanted to be there. They were just kind of there just because it's a job, and like got to pay the bills and everything. I didn't want to be a part of that.
For sure.
Like it wasn't me. Like I like doing a lot of different things, and I get bored really easily. And so that was not really me. So I kind of started looking at other things and just worked a lot of part-time jobs, and just finally decided to pursue axe throwing. So got hooked up at a festival in June of 2018, and then it just kind of went off from there. Just pulled some pallets off the side of the road, screwed them together with some hinges, and super bootstrap startup. Bought some axes and pulled out an insurance policy, like matched out my credit card, and just kind of did it. So
For sure.
And then from there, it just kind of grew. Got into more festivals, and then started getting more into the corporate gigs, which was a whole lot better. And then kept doing the festivals as well, like as marketing towards the corporate gigs and birthday parties, and then bought an old U-Haul box truck. That was in December of 2018, and I was working at Verizon at the time selling phones, and ended up getting fired from that job because all I could focus on was axe throwing, and ended up like falling asleep on the job, and just wasn't cut out for that. So
for sure. So those corporate deals, those could get probably pretty nice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, the way with any kind of industry, you could probably, be closing some pretty huge deals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you already are.
yeah, we were. Yeah.
Okay.
And when they actually were happening. Yeah. So not right now. It's like we're not not doing very many events right now. It's mainly the Pueblo location, just with the public coming out, which is good. Which kind of the direction that I want to do. Like, we'll always do the corporate gigs, but I want to serve everybody. I want everybody the opportunity to throw an axe. And when you have to drive 4 or 5 hours to Vail and set up and then stay in a hotel, like it just gets really, really expensive for myself to run it as well. So I just want to make it a little more easily accessible to everybody.
Okay.
But yeah, those corporate gigs, they're fun. They're fun. We're just like glorified cart pushers, just pushing around equipment and then setting it all up, and then just everything that goes into corporate events. Like they're crazy. If I don't know if people have ever been a part of them, but like when Ford, they came out last year at Gaylord Rockies, and just a lot of different companies, but that one in particular, is just crazy, the amount of work that is put into those events, because we're just one of 25 vendors that are at that event. So you got the florist, the catering company, entertainment, the bands, the lighting crew, the decor company, you got us throwing axes, you got cornhole, you got just all these different games and blow up bouncy houses, and then they'll have like a huge kind of like snow globe with frozen drinks in it, the ice bar.
Yeah.
They just set it up that day, and sometimes they'll spend a week setting up for an event, and then a week tearing down for the event. Just the things that some people build. So it's really cool being a part of those events.
For sure.
Because they're so massive, and you got so many people running around, and it made sense, financially, to spend that much money on your whole corporation when you have a couple thousand of your employees coming out. Like it just makes sense.
I could see you easily closing at least a $20,000 deal with some of those corporate businesses. At least I don't know if that's where you're at.
Yeah, okay. not quite, but a couple thousand for sure.
I can see it happening though.
Yeah,
because if they really love your business and they're like, it's just the right person,
right?
This axe throwing company in Pueblo, I love it.
Yeah, I would love to just set up like 30 targets inside of a large hotel ballroom. That'd be so cool. We're not quite there yet, just with setup times and everything, but we got set up down pretty good. We used to spend like 4 or 5 hours on a 2-target setup. Now it's down to about 40 minutes. So
it's not
just kind of some changes. Yeah,
you guys, since the industry is so new, there's a lot of room for innovation, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Everything is new, and that's what's so exciting about it.
Yeah,
is that no one really has done this kind of thing before, and everybody's just kind of figuring out in the industry. So I'm in like a lot of Facebook axe throwing business owner pages, and everybody's just always really supportive. Yeah, like they're just really supportive of one another, because it's so small. There's not very many. There's probably only a couple hundred companies around the world that are doing this, and it's blowing up like crazy. But it's got a long ways to go.
So do you guys have like an age limit?
Yeah, definitely a very common question. We don't. So we have a waiver that our insurance covers pretty much everything, as long as the parent or guardian is there throwing.
Okay.
We're not like a babysitting service where you drop your kid off and throw axes.
We
can't have that just because they are somewhat sharp, and you could get injured. We've never had an injury just because of safety precautions and everything that we take.
The way the targets are set up.
Yeah, the way everything is set up, we got protective chain link on both sides, so when axes do kind of go off the target, they just hit that and then drop right down to the floor. So it's a very safe activity.
Sweet.
As long as you have those proper safety precautions in place. So we'll have kids, as young as 5-6 years old throw, and they're light axes. So I'll actually have like this one is more of like a competition grade, but you can kind of feel this. So it's just 1.25 pounds, And so that's one of the axes there. Yeah. So it's pretty light.
That's
and so
sweet.
you're just throwing it straight down, and you're looking at
do they automatically
one rotation.
Do they automatically like when you throw it? Is there a certain force you got to put behind it, or does it usually just always like the head always hits?
Yeah, there's definitely a technique behind it. So that's kind of the surprising aspect of it. A lot of guys think they'll just come in and dominate it, and they ended up looking like a fool because the 8-year-old girl next to him is just crushing him, hitting the bullseye every time, and this macho dude is trying to throw it as hard as he can, and he just misses every time.
Yeah,
and so it's not about how hard you're throwing it or how strong you are, and that's one of the coolest things about it is that anybody can do it. We've had when my grandpa was alive, he was throwing, and he got a bullseye. He was 93 years old. Throwing axes.
So it equates to darts, essentially. The reason why darts is so fun is the same reason why this is so fun. Except there's some nuances for it, but it's essentially the same thing. Darts with axes.
Yeah, definitely. It's really the same thing. So you got your target, got a little scoring system on there, and then we'll score it. We've got a bunch of different games that we'll do with people. Like you can play tic-tac-toe and we'll do like 21 points or bust. So if you go over 21 points, you go back down to 10 or 0 depending on the group.
Okay.
And then you can play different tournaments against each other.
That is awesome.
A lot of probably at least 10 different games that you can play with people. So it's a lot like cornhole. There's also like a cornhole variant of axe throwing. So
what's cornhole?
So just like you play cornhole. So
I don't know what it is.
You get it on the board, you get a certain amount of points. If you get it in the hole, you get a certain amount of points, and then the points cancel out each other. So if you hit the bullseye and the other person hits the 3, then they get 2 points. So just different variations.
It's just
like
a game.
Yeah, just a game that you can play with people.
I like that tic-tac-toe idea.
Yeah, definitely. You got to get the 3 in a row.
Yeah,
and so
you also have to
really
aim
fun.
too. So it makes tic-tac-toe actually, because I don't know if you learned in grade school, but tic-tac-toe, it's pretty basic.
Right.
You can always, if you're playing the right person, you're always going to end up in a draw. Essentially with tic-tac-toe. So this adds another level that make it actually challenging.
Right, because you have to aim, and then sometimes the axes you'll hit them and then they'll get knocked off, and so there's that aspect to it as well.
Can you knock someone else's axe out, or is that not allowed?
Yeah, in tic-tac-toe, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so you can knock that out, and then that cancels each other out.
Okay.
So it's just kind of that game aspect to it as well. And then you have the more competitive world of axe throwing. So there's like the International Axe Throwing Federation, World Axe Throwing League. So a few like real international governing bodies that are kind of pushing the sport in a more of a sport aspect of it, just like bowling. You got the masters leagues and the youth leagues and everything like that, or just like pool, got these huge competitions.
Oh yeah.
So there's people that get really serious about their axe throwing as well, and so we were doing a league out at different breweries around Colorado before COVID, and so that was a lot of fun to operate and just kind of see that camaraderie that happens with people, and everyone's cheering and everything when you hit a bullseye, and just the community that happens during that time is really cool.
Sweet. So what do you think have been, actually I'm going to start this button again.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so what do you think have been some challenges in this business outside of COVID?
A lot of
like starting out.
Yeah, just a lot of mainly self-doubt, really.
Okay.
That's really, I think, the fundamental force of any business that either is struggling or failing is just kind of like what was your thought process?
I never thought about that actually.
Yeah.
Like, that was a problem for me. It still can be. It still does. It still is at times.
Yeah, definitely. Like just today, like I was kind of like, do I really want to do this? Like I kind of had that doubt. Like I got other things to do, and there's just always some kind of doubt that comes into your mind.
For sure.
And it's just that process of eliminating that, and just thinking positive thoughts, because your business is positive. Like if you're impacting lives, if you're doing your business, like you're making a positive impact.
And those I had a coach for like a couple months, and one of the things he would talk about is similar along the lines of what you were just saying.
Yeah,
is finding the there's the negative vibes and the positive vibes, or the negative energy and the positive energy, thoughts, the negative, positive, and I'm trying to think. He said something. He said he worded it differently, but that's essentially the concept. Having those, you can catch yourself in those thoughts. And like low vibration is what he meant. Like there's high vibration thoughts and low vibration thoughts. And if you catch yourself when you're in a low vibration low vibration, you can shift those thoughts to positive ones and really focus and get your head out of your ass, essentially.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. I think that's just so much of business that isn't really talked about a lot, because it's always just, oh, you gotta flex your hustle muscle, and that's all good. Yeah. But what you're thinking of yourself and your business has so much impact, because if you're thinking negatively of the day or your business itself, like you're trying to figure out a problem, because that's really, that's all you do as a business owner, is just figure out problems and how to overcome those problems. And if you're always kind of dwelling on those problems, it really hurts business. And because you're not able to open up the way you should to other business owners and like the community, your employees, like it shows in them. If you're having, doubts yourself, they're going to be having doubts. And so it just kind of is that trickle down effect. So that's really something that I've been working on.
Same here.
The last year is just, if you're hiding your business from other people, you're actually kind of being selfish, because if you really believe in your product, you believe in your business, that it will make a positive impact in others' lives, that it's actually kind of being selfish because you're hiding, your business. If you had the cure to cancer, just this amazing thing, and you were withholding it from someone that was sick, that's super selfish to be doing that. So I think a business kind of that same way.
That's how I feel about the video business card.
Yeah.
I feel that it has that power to help businesses, and it's like such a powerful thing. So it's like, that's why I'm constantly talking about it.
Right.
Yeah. But I did have doubts about it at first. It's like I don't know. I just had doubts within myself about it, is what I meant. And mine has proven to help me out tremendously. So it's like the first one I did, it was good, but it wasn't like the one I have now, which I created a couple months ago, which is even better.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah.
Do you think that when you have that self-doubt, do other people's thoughts of you, or like what other people say to you, do you think that has an impact on your business?
Oh, what do you mean? When I have that self-doubt?
Or like if you have a negative experience with another person, or they say no to you, do you think that has an effect on you personally?
It used to, but no, not anymore, because I know what I have is so good. I've proven it. And so it's like I don't have that anymore.
Right.
And I have I'm coming from a place of abundance now.
Yeah.
And not from scarcity. When I first started out, because I did that 30-day challenge, I came from a scarcity mindset.
Right.
Like I need something, even though I was able to continue to swim, and but I still, for like the first 6-7 months, I was coming from a scarcity mindset, and that does bleed out to your clients. Like if someone says no, it's not their fault. It's my fault for not explaining or not even conveying the importance of what I do. That's either my fault, but also there's abundance. There's other things. Maybe it's just not right for them.
Yeah.
And so there's that as well. So it's like,
I definitely get that a lot. Just kind of scared of people saying no, and it's super dumb to think like that. There's so many people in the world. There's so many opportunities that you can do. You can make money doing absolutely anything you want. In today's world with online, you can just do anything. So that it's kind of that mindset, that scarcity or abundance. Like which way are you thinking?
Those lower vibration thoughts of that's a lower vibration thought. If you're feeling that, you need to get yourself in a higher vibration thought, which is, okay, what am I going to do to continue to keep my business going? Also, I'm coming from a place now, like in my head, like I could meet anybody. Like I'm growing. Like this podcast has helped me have that those higher vibration thoughts as well, because I'm constantly meeting people. I'm constantly growing my business as well, and like it's just like so awesome. And like I don't think, like about a few months ago, I was like, I never have to worry about anything, even though I still do.
Right.
But, like I never have to worry about anything ever again. Just because I know that that for some reason magically things have just worked out.
Right.
Consistently since I've been in business, and like it just keeps. Yes, there's parts where it's like, oh crap, I don't know if this is gonna work out.
Yeah.
But it's like so far it's worked out. So it's
Right.
like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's when you know you have a true calling in the industry that you're in. That it just always works out for some reason.
Yeah.
God just always takes care of you in that
I
way.
do need to put some systems in places, because that's not a good way to operate, really.
Right. There's action and a lot of work behind that, but that's kind of the fundamental belief that when you wake up in the morning, you're not scared of the day. You're going forward, and you're doing what you're wanting to do.
My problem is, and I'm not sure if I should admit this on the podcast, but I don't care. One of the things I struggle with a lot is drinking. Yeah, and I need to get that under control, because that does mess up my productivity. There's certain aspects of it where it's good, but like it definitely messes with my energy levls in the morning. Like even if I don't drink that much, but I still am consuming alcohol, a beer at least every day. So it's like...
Right. I mean, I would be curious as to the drinking percentage from business owners to non-business owners, but that'd be interesting. Just, with everything that you go through, I'm sure it's very common. That's why breweries and bars are, so successful. They're on every corner, just because I had that thought
of like a brewery truck drove by me this morning, or it was yesterday morning, on my way to the office, and I was like, man, there's just beer everywhere.
Right. There's always a Budweiser truck or some beer truck, on every corner.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you have any events coming up?
Not a lot of mobile events. Have a couple booked end of September. Mobile events, and then a couple in October.
Nice.
Nothing too crazy. We're probably doing like average of one per week right now.
Okay.
But then Pueblo is pretty consistent right now. So really just focusing all on that right now, and then just expanding the business that way. So we'll always have the mobile aspect of the axe throwing, just because it's really really fun, really easy to set up. Awesome to be at different festivals and everything. But really concentrating on kind of changing the business model to more of a on-site
stationary.
Stationary, just because it's a lot easier to train employees on the setup. You don't have to be good at everything, because with the mobile it's hard to find people that can do it, because you got to be good with people, but you also have to be strong and able to move a lot of equipment very quickly, because with the corporate gigs it's all we got 2 hours to set everything up, and we got sometimes 6 to 8 targets.
That's why I'm saying you should be
fling
charging
up
a lot more.
Yeah, sure. So those get really stressful really quickly, and they can be long 20-hour work days, and I've done more 24-hour plus hour shifts than I care to admit, and a lot of it's my problem, because I didn't plan properly, or we forgot equipment, or just something always goes wrong. But
and as the business owner, you got to absorb those bills.
Right, definitely. That was hard to do at first, because when you're an employee, you don't have to answer to that. But being a business owner is a lot of responsibility,
for sure.
But it's good responsibility. I wouldn't have it any other way. So
okay, so I guess what would you like to promote specifically? Like maybe talk about the Pueblo business, how people can get into that.
Yeah.
Or even, maybe if you want to do some of the mobile stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Some of the mobile stuff as well. So to have a small event special we lowered our prices a lot, actually, with COVID and everything. So we're just running a $225 for a 2-hour axe throwing event, up to 20 people.
Nice.
So that's our promotion going on right now, which is most of the bookings right now, those smaller events, and then have some larger events, like with the Air Force Academy coming up.
Nice.
That's good. So got like 500 Air Force Academy cadets at that event, and so it'll just be a big fun crazy event.
Yeah, that's
there.
awesome.
So looking forward to that in October, and then really the mobile aspect, just events in general. Like you need to gather in person. Like you really need that human interaction. And like, on this podcast, like you meet in person. It's just, it's a different level of connection because you drive into the location, you're coming up here, seeing the beautiful blue wall over here. It's creating that experience.
Yes.
And that's exactly what we do. It's really crafting that in-person experience is very important as the world turns more, virtual, and there's a lot of virtual work from home, work from anywhere. All the larger companies like Apple and Google, are saying you can work from wherever. So they're moving to, Kansas or just anywhere they want.
Yeah.
And buying a bunch of land and living the life that they want working from home. But that in-person experiences, they'll never go away. And I would argue that they're a lot more important now.
For sure.
Because you don't have that connection in the office. So it's definitely important to connect with other people in a face-to-face realm. There's nothing that can replace that. So I really urge people to, gather in person, and that, it is safe to gather, maybe not have, huge 10,000 person festivals right now, but they're going to come back, and they're going to come back really strong. So
you think really strong?
Oh yeah, definitely. 2021, the festival scene is going to be insane.
Coachella is going to be huge.
yeah, good old Coachella. There's going to be so many people there. Like people are really excited. Just the few events that we've done, since COVID hit, people are so excited to be out. They're just so amped to be out there throwing axes and just having a drink, and really that human interaction is just so important. So I really see the importance of it now a whole lot more than when I first started, actually.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
man. So I guess we could start wrapping up this episode.
Yeah.
Where's that location at in Pueblo?
Yeah, so we're at outdoors at Brass Saddle, 1725 Pueblo Boulevard, and then we're also in Big Daddy's Sunset Bowling off of Northern and Prairie. So that's our indoor location that'll be opening up probably in the next few weeks. So outdoor is open Fridays and Saturdays, 5 to 9 p.m., and then other times by appointment. So we'll do a lot of private events. 10 people come out and throw some axes during the week, or off times on the weekend. So with the booking events, is that a different rate than the mobile one? Yeah, so on-site is actually a whole lot cheaper.
Okay.
So it's $20 a person for a 2-hour experience on-site, or right now we're just doing $7 for an hour of throwing if you come during our open throw hours.
Okay.
Yeah, so try to keep prices down as much as possible, and just focus more on volume at the spots.
Yeah, and the location
Pueblo.
allows you to do that.
Yeah, because it works out for everybody. Works out for the bar because they get more business with that, and works out for us because we get to deliver a great experience to people.
Yeah, well, sweet, man.
Yeah.
I'm glad you came on the show today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this has been the Colorado Springs Business Podcast, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you.